Yes. Val Lemon joins us now from our home in Toowoomba. Val, always good to see you.
Hey, Val.
Nice to see you too.
Now, Val, you're in Women's Day this week, chatting about your hometown in Toowoomba there. How did you end up in Toowoomba? How long have you been there for?
Well, actually, I was living on Macleay Island and I found it a bit too isolated. And my daughter suggested Toowoomba to me and I drove up and had a look at it. And it actually reminded me quite a lot of Ballarat, where I'd lived, because of all of the, I think they call them private schools here, but in Victoria we call them public schools, where the graziers send all their kids in to go to school, boarding school mostly, and it's very similar. And the gardens are beautiful. And on Macleay Island, I really couldn't plant the Northern European things that I love so much, like roses and irises and peonies and things like that. I got very tired of orchids, and so I'm really enjoying the gardening up here.
Good gardening
which is
in Toowoomba.
Spectacular, and it's Spring Garden Week just opening this week up here. Very fun.
Well, I'm from Toowoomba. Have you entered the Carnival of Flowers? Because there's a massive competition up there every year.
That's right. Yes, huge. And the gardens here really are spectacular.
Yeah, that's why they call it the Garden City. I also never knew that there was a Logie Street in Toowoomba, so...
Neither.
No, there you go, you learn something every day. Now, in this article, Val, you also say that you are ready to meet your next leading man.
Wow.
Sounds good.
Yes, on stage or on screen, but not in a church or a marriage situation.
You've got to keep them separated, Val. I love that. I mean, we were just looking at some of those clips then of you and Prisoner, which, you know, we all grew up watching you as B. Smith. It was so iconic. It's got to be your favourite role to date. I mean, and I wondered, with the success of Wentworth, you would get more people going back to the original.
It's amazing, actually, that the Prisoner fans have remained so incredibly loyal, so much so that we hold events out here in Australia quite often. There's another one coming up in February next year. And they come from all over the world to attend these events, just to see and meet and greet with the actual original cast members. But it's been a very slow week for me recently. I haven't murdered a single person.
Is that where you bury the bodies in your garden?
That's why they grow so well.
That's why they grow so well.
Buried in the garden, my dogs would dig them up and eat them.
You're also writing a memoir now. So what can we expect? Some behind-the-scenes stories from your days in cell Block H?
I've asked at all the interviews that I've ever been at and never answered. Yes, some of the secrets will be revealed. I have to say I'm not doing the actual physical writing myself. I have a ghostwriter who is my daughter's partner. So, and he keeps saying how amazed he is that I'm so spot on the time scale of the memories, because he has to go and check them all to make sure I'm not telling fibs all the time. And yes, we're getting there.
I cannot wait to read that book. Yes. That'd be so good. So, Val, what's going on with acting with you now? Because there's the fabulous Empire Theatre down the road. Are you treading the boards?
The famous Empire Theatre down the road, it doesn't have a local, there's no local professional theatre company here. With that beautiful theatre and so well appointed, I had a tour through it. I'm amazed at what they've got there in terms of equipment and staging.
Absolutely.
And what have you. And they use it, of course, for school musicals, and they use it for the amateur company up here. But there's no professional theatre company.
Sounds like someone should start one up.
Sounds like you could do that,
Just
Val.
suggesting.
Yeah.
I reckon I could do that. I can. Well, I've directed and won awards for directing in here and in England.
Ah. Well, my mum and dad live there. I can see if they're happy to join, get you started.
Yeah, people just trail. You've got all those great actors in Brisbane who would just drive there. Val, always good to see you. Good to see you safe. We can't wait for the book. Make sure you come back for the book.
Yes.
We want to read that and have you on again.
Love to.
Take care, Val.
Bye, Val. You can get back out to that garden now. Pick up this week's copy of Women's Day to read the full story on Val. Thanks for joining.